Hey everybody, it's YGL Paladin back here with part 2 of Going in Blind with Tribrigades. If you guys saw part 1, we went through deck building and trying to figure out how we're going to make a 40 card deck with Tribrigades mixed with Zodiac and hand traps and all this and that, and we came up with this deck profile. So now, if you guys did see part 1, I made a huge mistake by not adding in Rapier into the main deck. So I cannot believe I missed this card. So I fixed the issue and I cut one Whiptail to add one Rapier to the main deck. So you guys will be seeing replay videos of my experience with this deck, and for sure Rapier will be in the main deck. So I just wanted to clarify that before I show you guys the replays. So my initial thoughts with going into this deck is, how am I going to do well with this deck, not knowing anything? So I read the cards, I did some test hands, and we did have a decent setup for Zodiac Engine to go into our Mega Clops. So that seems to be our big goal right there for having the Zodiac Engine, which will be any combination of both Duralblade and Ram, or if you got like any ways to search these two to have in your opening hand. You do have a Mega Clops, but there's going to be some things that I noticed while doing the replays. I will be talking about that as I showcase those replays for you guys, that this deck definitely does work when it can, but you have to draw the cards that you really need to do so. So it's sometimes a brick, sometimes it isn't. It's just maybe my deck that I had to go through with playing, and you guys will see what I mean. For at least the first video, you guys will see how hard it was when I bricked for game one. I will show you guys that one very soon, but that doesn't mean that the whole archetype was bad. I actually got some surprising results with this deck, and I'm going to be happy to show you guys with this. So what I did kind of think, though, was that it's a fun deck. I really like it. I like the concept of it, and it could definitely do some work when it definitely goes off. So I will have to let you guys see the replays for yourself. So let's go ahead and get onto those replays. So for game one, we are playing against dinosaurs, and from my opening hand, we bricked. Yeah, we bricked pretty hard on this. I mean, we have two hand traps and something to stop a hand trap, but none of our combos or anything like that. So yeah, a little rough here, but thankfully our opponent is going to be going first, so this is their opening hand, and I will be getting my top card, which would be Ceres, but we'll just have to play this, and then I'll talk about this as it goes along. So our opponent goes first, and he surprisingly ends his turn, doesn't play a single thing. So I draw Ceres, and I just set, not knowing what they're going to be playing, and set Call by the Grave. He normal summons Pathfinder, attacks my monster, and loses 500. He uses that effect. I use Call by the Grave because I'm thinking he's going to go into like Numeron or something like that, maybe. But I wasn't sure he was playing Dinos, and I draw Call by the Grave again on starting my next turn. I just did an attack for 1200 and just set Call by the Grave again on the field. Then on his turn, he's going to go off pretty good. He's going to go off with Lost World, with Archosaur. I go with Effect Value, trying to stop that card. He uses Miscellaneous. I Call by the Grave, but he has a second one in his hand, and I just lose on that point right there. So his card's going to go off. I get a token, and he gets Albo Evolution Pill, which he's going to use to summon back Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. Go into Linkuriboh, use Miscellaneous Source's effect to banish from the graveyard, but he forgot he's under Call by the Grave, so he just goes for the attacks. But he does combo off with Lost World. He goes into Oviraptor, uses his effect to send Carboneton to his graveyard, which he's going to banish to summon the level 6 monster, which that's just when I decided to use Nibiru, because I was like, I better do it now. Maybe he's going to try to go into Needle Fiber. I just need to get rid of that. And my top deck, I did another Pot of Evers. This wasn't really a great matchup here. But now he's got a big old Nibiru here. He goes for a token, uses his Baby Ceresaurus. Then he's going to do his regular plays that he did last turn as well. Go back to Oviraptor. And he adds his Miscellaneous Saurus. Now from here, I'm thinking, okay, so I live. I didn't lose that much damage. I have 5,200 life points. So I'm thinking, okay, is my opponent going to end their turn? And well, let's play this, because I completely forgot he didn't use Oviraptor yet. So I gotta fair warn you guys, this matchup was not that great. It was horrible, actually. I mean, look at these plays that he's doing here. He's got a negation. I'll show you guys his end board. Yeah, this is his end board. So he definitely has IP Masquerena with his Overtext, which will negate a spell or trap card, which is something I completely forgot about. And then he also has his Dolka, which will negate the activations of a monster effect. So he has a 5100 beater, which he's more than likely going to combo off with his IP Masquerena. So go into like probably Unicorn. And Yeah, it's just not looking good here. And the only things I have is Monster Reborn and 2 freaking Pot of Avarices with only yeah, 3 monsters in my graveyard. So that's not gonna happen all that well. So let's just see what I do here. For my top deck, Effect Veiler. Yeah, I just surrendered. There was no point in playing through this board. This was just horrible, and I just bricked really hard. The Biryu did help for a little bit because I feel like they could have gone into a bigger board because he did summon out his level 6 monster. Oops, I can't even. There we go. That level 6 monster is a tuner, so I felt like he was going to go into Needle Fiber. So I figured let's drop Nibiru now before it's too late. But it was just bad. Honestly, this was not the best matchup, and my hand just was horrible. So that was for game 1. Not a very promising start, I know. But let's go into game 2. For our second match, we're playing against UAs, and this is honestly very interesting because I have played the new UA support, and it's really good, but our opponent gets the win for Paper, Rock, Scissors, and he decides to go first, which is questionable because the deck definitely runs on going second, at least the way I played it, and he does open up the new monster, so it does help out here, and our hand is not looking that bad at all, way better than the first match, so I'm thinking, okay, you know what, I feel good about this, so let's go ahead and play this replay, and I'll showcase you guys what's what. So he normal summons the new level 4 monster, and he ends his turn right away, so I know this card can chain during my turn, that he can reveal a level 5 monster, which he actually does have, and he can special summon anyone from the deck. So I had to play this cautionally because I have no idea what's in the hand. I didn't know if he had that. So let's go ahead and go into my turn where I draw Monster Reborn. I use Infinite Impermanence to bait out his monster, which he is going to respond to by summoning out Perfect Ace. Now, Perfect Ace is the one that can stop a card's activation once returned during your opponent's turn. When a card or effect is activated, you can discard a card to negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. So this is where I had to try to do the big brain plays here. So let's go ahead and showcase you guys, because I summoned out my Thoroughblade to try to get him to use this monster's effect, which he does when I tried to attempt to use his effect. So he's going to destroy my monster, but that's fine. We have Monster Reborn, and we're going to try this again for a second time by summoning out our Thoroughblade, using Thoroughblade's effect to discard our Ram to draw a card. Now, the thing is, I did not know that he did have an Ash, and you're going to be seeing that he doesn't use it, and it's very questionable as to why he didn't. So I don't have no idea why. So we're going to go into our usual Zodiac plays to try to get to our Mega Clops. And as you guys are seeing, it's not that bad at all. We're actually getting to that point where we're going to summon out our big Mega Clops and try to set up a really good board with a Trident that by sucking up his monster with the Mega Clops and, you know, just have some more field interruptions. And then we finally do get the Mega Clops. I use the effect of Fractar in my hand, and this is actually the video where you're going to see me interact with the Tribrigade's archetype a little bit more than I did in my test playing hands. So this is where I think the Tribrigades really shined here. So we're going to use Tribrigade to add our, we're going to use Fractar to add Ceres. So we activate Ceres' effect to discard Naval, and then we're going to use that effect to banish 4 to special summon our big level rank 4 Link 4 monster that uses this effect when it's summoned or another beast related monster is summoned. I get to banish a card on the field. So I'm going to attempt to use this to banish his Perfect Ace monster. And by doing so, I realize I have not used Mega Clops' effect, so we're going to be putting in quite a lot of damage for games. So what happens here? Well, he decides to scoop. Yeah, so all in all, this was an amazing match right here. I had the combos in my hand, and we were actually able to utilize the Tribrigade archetype to the extent of being able to summon our big Link 4 monster while not even using our while not even using the Mega Clops monster. So we didn't have to have any damage or anything like that. And it didn't dawn on me that we did have match. We already had, let's see, 4,000, 3,000, 7,000. Yeah, we had 8,200 points of damage. So it was already game at this point. And this got me feeling really good about the deck. So I was very excited that we got our win, and we were able to both utilize the Zodiacs with the Tribrigades. So definitely match 2 was a lot better than match 1. And now we're going to be moving on to our third match for this video. For our third matchup, we go against Salamangreat, and I gotta say, I have not played against Salamangreat in a long time, even in IRL, and so you guys will be seeing my questionable decisions on using my hand traps when it came across this deck, and I gotta say, my hand's not looking that bad. Honestly, if we could get Thoroughblade into my hand, I think we do have our Mega Clops combo, but we do open up with the Monster Reborn and the Ram, so definitely do have a potential Mega Clops combo right there, but I have no idea what he's playing yet, so and what's in his hand, so I'm not sure. I'm also going to be going cautious with this. So let's go ahead and get onto the replay. So he's going to be going first. He's going to be using, Foolish Burial to send, I believe it was Falco to the graveyard. no, I'm sorry, Jaguar. And then he's going to be using his Signet Mining. Unfortunately, I don't have a Ash Blossom, unlike him. So he's going to discard Ash to get his Gazelle. He's going to go to Bailings. This is when I use Effect Veiler to stop that, because thinking that, I better stop his monster just in case so he can't go into Reincarnating Link, whatever that's called. And I just dropped it on there. And then he goes into his Gazelle since one monster did get sent to the graveyard. And this is when I use my Infinite Impermanence against this monster. And this is when I realized I was horrible at making these decisions, and I should have held on to these hand traps for the better targets to go against. So, yeah, I goofed up on that, but I'm still learning. I haven't played against Tribrigade in a while. So he goes into a Sunlight Wolf, and this is when I realized I should have held on to Infinite Imperm, so he gets his Ash back to his hand. And then he does go into Baylings to go into... he goes into Sunlight Wolf, then he goes into a Baylink, so then he links them off so he can go to another Sunlight Wolf. Now he has, I believe... Yeah, he has one Baylink in his graveyard, so he does have the one protection. And he does have a Sunlight Wolf that used the Sunlight Wolf. So for my top deck, I drew the Tribrigade Revolt, and you guys will actually see this card in action. I was actually very surprised that it went off, not realizing I could use it. So I'm going to go into my Zodiac, and I try to attempt to get Mega Clops onto the field, because I realized that by having Ram and Monster Reborn in here, I have the potential of getting a 2-hit. I just have to get Ram into my graveyard, so I'm going to use Trident to use that. And I know he does have the Baylings. I tried to destroy it, but I was just baiting it out. And I did get Ram in my graveyard, so I'm going to go into my usual plays here. So I do use Chakanai to summon out Trident, because I'm not going to summon out Ram. There's no need for that because I have Monster Reborn, because if I do, it can't be used as an Xyz material that turn. So I activate Monster Reborn to special summon out Ram, and then I use Ram to go into my Hammer Kong. And now I got 3 Xyz monsters on the field, so I go into Mega Collapse. I use Mega Collapse to target my Trident, and then I'm going to be using his Sunlight Wolf to absorb it as an Xyz material. And I just go in for 2,000 damage because all damage is half. I use Pot of Avarice because I wanted to bait out his Ash, not knowing he had a second one. Because just wanted to bait that out because I needed them in my graveyard anyways for Revolt. So I just wanted to waste his Ash. So I set Revolt, and on his turn, he's going to summon Foxy. Use Foxy to reveal the 3 top cards of his deck, which he's going to add Silent Great Roar to his hand. Then he's going to go to his Baylings. He's going to use Baylings as effect. This is where I use Chain, Revolt, and then he's going to use Gazelle. He summons Gazelle. I use Revolt to special summon 4 monsters from the graveyard. And then I go into the Link 4 monster, and then he's going to add Sanctuary to his hand. Then this is when I use the Link 4 monster while he's going to use his Gazelle. I banish his Baylings because I figure, you know what, let's get Baylings out of there. I don't want any more protection in his graveyard. But then he's going to go into his second Baylings, and that's actually fine. We go to Trident to destroy his monster there, and he surrenders the game. Yeah, so this was amazing. This was a really good matchup here because it's somewhat of a meta deck. I'm not sure what the plays are. I should have used Infinite Imperm, though, before. I should have used it on Sunlight Wolf before I used it recklessly on his other monsters. But it worked out for the best. I was able to make a really decent board, and I'm actually happy with how this deck was performing. This is the second match that I won. And I also noticed something here was that this deck works really well when it goes second. When I would go first on the test hands, I didn't like it. Going second really could be better for this deck because you do get a 6th card, and whatever you draw could help decide the match. So I was very satisfied with how this all worked out. But I wonder how it would have worked if he was able to set Roar and all this and that. Who knows? The match could have gone anyway, but I was just satisfied with how this match went for me and the Tribrigade deck. For our final matchup of this video, we are playing against Fire Warriors, and this will be a full match, so it's best 2 out of 3. And for our opening hand, we did pull pretty nicely. We do have our Nibiru with our Ash Blossom, so I'm thinking, okay, in case they go into 5 or more summons or any searching, I can stop those. And then I have the Mega Clops combo, and if I happen to draw another Beast Warrior, I do have the Ceres in my hand to go into our possible Link 4 monster. So I was feeling pretty good with this opening hand, and not knowing what my opponent was playing, I just had to hope for the best. So they are going to be going first. They're going to be doing their, try to do some combos here. They're going to go into Oliver, while it's equipping it with the Durandal, and this is the one that does the searching, so I knew I had to ash this card so they don't get their Renald as long as they didn't have one already. So they're going to use the effect of this to banish the Fire Warrior to special summon it from their hand, because I completely forgot what these Infer Noble Knights actually did. So I'm still learning to play against this deck. So they go into this, and then they're going to go to their Isolde, which is pretty nice. So far, I believe that was 4 summonings. We have the... No, I'm sorry, that was the Banished. No, 3 summonings so far. So they just needed 2 more summonings, and then I can play the Nibiru. So they're going to add the Fire Phoenix to their hand. And they're going to be using the effect of this monster of, what's the name? Astroloth? I believe that's the name. They're going to banish it from the graveyard to special summon it during the second standby phase after it was banished. So then they're going to use the Isolde effect to send 4 cards from the deck to the graveyard to special summon Madrat from the deck. And this is actually pretty cool because Madrat is not a effect monster. It's kind of like a Gemini monster, but it only gets the effect when it is equipped with a Noble Arms card. So since it's a normal light monster, he can special summon Gwaine from his hand, which he does do. And thankfully, that secures 5 summonings, so I Nibiru the hell out of the board. So we gotta have to summon that card. And he just ends his turn right there. And keep in mind, this card is 5,200 points, so I have to destroy this card by this turn. Thankfully, it has low defense points, so I was glad about that. But you guys are going to be seeing that I draw Infinite Impermanence. But you guys are going to be seeing some little bit oops that I do a little bit later. I activate Tenki to get the Ram from the deck to the hand. So with that, I have full combo to go into Mega Collapse as long as they didn't have an Ash in their hand. Which I know they didn't because they added the Fire Phoenix to the hand. The God Phoenix, whatever it's called now. But I go into the usual shenanigans to get to the Mega Collapse. Going through the same combos that we've been doing. I do call this the combo because, well, you open up at least 2 of those cards, then you definitely have Mega Collapse as long as you don't get interrupted. So we're special summoning all our Xyzes, then go to Tiger Mortar, give a unit back to Chuckanine, use Chuckanine's effect to also detach to special summon back our Borbo. Then we're going to go into the Mega Collapse, and this is where I actually do the oops. I was going to use Mega Collapse's effect. When it dawned on me, they have a token. You cannot attach a token to an Xyz monster, but that actually worked out for the better because I was able to go in for some big damage. So I'm going to destroy their token and deal them 4,000 points of damage. Then I just set the Infinite Impermanence, hoping for the best that they don't get over this board because I know they do have the Phoenix in their hand, so I don't know what the top deck could be. So going on to their turn, they top deck a Magus. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, and this one goes to 1. They're going to go into their Gearfried, and then they're going to summon out their monster, go into Isolde, and this is when I knew this is the best time to use Infinite Impermanence, is when they're going to be using the effect. So they're going to activate 2 effects, actually. So they're going to be using Isolde to add from the deck to the hand after it's summoned, and then they're going to be using Magus' effect to target 3 of the Fire Warriors or Noble Arms cards in the graveyard to add them back to the deck to draw 1 card, and apparently that's cost. I didn't know about that. So they do shuffle the 3 back into the deck, but to draw the card, I still can respond to that. So what I do is I activate Ash Blossom to respond to Megas while also chaining Infinite Imperm to Isolde. So I definitely cut off all their ways of adding another card to their hand, and with that, they surrender the game. So this was the best. This was like the best thing I could ever hope for. And this was honestly really cool because this was against Fire Warriors, and this was just game 1. So let's go ahead and go into game 2 and see how well we do with that one. Moving on to game 2, we have an opening hand of basically our Mega Collapse combo, and with some hand traps and our Ceres looking pretty good. So I actually had to go in and think, what on earth is my opponent going to end up the board with, and will Infinite Impermanence be enough of a hand trap to stop their plays? So let's go ahead and play these videos. So my opponent's going to be going first, and what they're going to do is activate Unexpected Die to special summon their Argentaurus, I believe that's the name of it, and which is actually really cool. I haven't seen Fire Warriors use this, but this person does run a 60-card deck, so another way to turbo out for Isolde. So they're going to summon out Brothers and use Brothers' effect to special summon up to 2 Noble Knights from the hand. So they're only going to special summon I don't know how to pronounce that name, sorry. But they do special summon at least the 1 monster. And then what they're going to do is going to activate their Durandal to equip, use the effect. I don't have an Ash, so he's going to get his Renald. Then he's going to go into Isolde, where I Infinite Impermanence it, and I have to hope that at least that will stop their combo. What they are going to do is use the effect because it still pitches for cost, which I thought was interesting, and then I realized why. They're probably going to go for Argator because they're going to go for Custanine, Sacred Noble Knight of King Custanin, and it's a good card if it's sent to the graveyard. If it's destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon a Noble Knight Xyz from your extra deck. So more than likely, they're going to go into their rank 5 and then reattach most of the equipped spells from the graveyard to the monster. So I figured, okay, This is their inboard, so more than likely I have to try to get rid of this card without having to destroy it, because Argator can be a problem. And I think that's the name of it, so I apologize if that's not the right pronunciation of that monster. But the rank 5 will come out, and it'll be beefed up with the equip spells that they have in the graveyard. So what do I top deck with? Well, let's go ahead and we top Call by the Grave. So we're just going to try to go into our Megaclops combo, use Thoroughblade, use the effect to pitch a Ram Ram, and then go into our usual Zodiac shenanigans. So special summon back Ram Ram. Then we go into Dryden, use Dryden's effect to pop my Ram Ram. And then use Ram Ram's effect, special summon back Chakanine. And then we're going to go into Tiger Mortar, use the effect to attach a card to Chakanine. Use Chakanine to special summon back the Borbo, and then go into our Megaclops. And then we're going to use the, I'm sorry, I should have said that. We're going to use the Fractar to discard to the graveyard to send Naval to the graveyard, from the deck to the graveyard. And then with that, we're going to use Naval's effect to add another Fractar. So that way we have a monster to discard to go into our Ceres, which is going to be really impactful right now. We're going to showcase this. So I'm going to use this effect to discard, special summon it, use the effect, banish 4 monsters, and summon our Link 4 monster. And because this card was special summon, I get to banish 1 card. And what card am I going to banish? Well, yeah, we're going to banish that Xyz monster. Because if it's not sent to the graveyard, I don't have to worry about the rank 5 coming out. So I was like, let's banish that card. So then we're going to use the Megaclops to summon back our Trident and have it equipped with Isolde, so that way we have an interruption to stop anything on my opponent's plays, and then have any other way. That'll probably be our only interruption as well with the 2 Call by the Graves, so I figured let's just go ahead with that. Sure that all the damage was halved, but it was well worth it. So I'm going to have to set the 2 Call by the Graves, and then we're going to pass it to our opponent, in which they scoop. So I have to say, this deck performs very well, a lot better than I thought it would. But to call it a Tribrigade deck is actually a little bit underwhelming, because a lot of it did rely on the Zodiac cards. But I'm not surprised. We did go into our Megaclops quite a few times. This was actually one of our key components of making the deck a lot better, more competitive. I think it's definitely worth noting that if you just have any combination of these 2 cards, you do have the Megaclops. But I kind of noticed while using Sars that if you happen to have anything to discard any beast-related card, you can special summon it from your hand. So I might want to maximize on this one a little bit more, maybe run it at 2, because this is my searcher and I get this as that. So I might do some updated changes with this deck and probably do another video, but for that video it's just going to be mostly gameplay, no auto commentary. But I did like the way the deck performed. It did very well. Being able to special summon out big monsters like the Megaclops as well as the Link 4 while also banishing a card, while also sitting on a Dryden with a monster I took from my opponent's field is actually really nice. The hand traps worked out very nicely. I'm surprised I actually did not get Nibiru'd, so I can't say that this deck performs well when you do get Nibiru'd, because I feel like if you did, well, I have no backup place to actually do anything around this. So I felt that if I did get Nibiru'd to showcase, it probably would have been a whole different game, and probably the deck would have slacked off a little bit. And then for Effect Veilers, these were okay, but I might consider taking these out, and I might consider taking out Airborne, because one card I was thinking about playing while I was playing the matches was that I might want to play Phantasme, because fixing my hand could be a problem solver for not bricking as hard as I kind of did on game 1. It kind of made me realize that I do brick sometimes. The other games I did perfectly well, I'll have to say. And I might just want to run this card so I can do some fixed hands, so that way I know if I can get to my combo pieces to go off, essentially. So I think for the updated deck profile, I might take out the Effect Veilers as well as Airborne and replace it with Phantasme. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys would suggest as an updated deck profile on here. What cards should I add in here? What should I consider looking at? Now, I know there might be some other cards people are playing that I might be missing here, but I really wanted to get into the Zodiac engine of the deck, and this deck was mostly like a Zodiac deck. Let's face it, it really was a Zodiac deck. But I am satisfied that we were able to do more damage with the Tribrigades when we really got it. Especially this card. This card ended up doing a lot more than I thought it would. I just have to give props to that. So, yeah, other than that, guys, this is it for the first episode, I guess, for Going In Blind. I hope you guys did enjoy this. And this is going to be something different from now on. It probably might be like a weekly series, maybe. Or unless a new archetype comes out and I just want to do a video of it right away, so that way I don't get spoiled by other deck profiles. But now that I had a chance to play this, I might look up some videos and see what everybody else is playing. Who knows, there might be some spicy text in here that... there might be some spicy text out there that I could put in here that I didn't even consider. So, yeah, let me know what you guys' opinions about this, and are you guys excited to be playing these when it comes out in Phantom Rage? I for sure hell am going to be playing this archetype when it comes out. I just have so many good memories with Zodiac. I know a lot of people hated it, but I used to play it when it was Tier 0. I got second place, I believe, at my local's UDS or OTS. I can't remember exactly what it was, and that thing went on to like 3 in the morning, so that was actually a really great memory for me for that one. So definitely Zodiacs have a place in my heart, and excited to kind of be playing them again. So with that, guys, thank you for watching. I hope you did enjoy this video. Please hit the like button for more upcoming videos, and be on the lookout for episode 2, where I will be playing the Drytron archetype, which is a ritual-based archetype, but I'll be doing more of a discussion in that video. So be on the lookout for Drytron, which would be probably dropping next week. So for that, guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.